Oh.
Welcome to Vibes and Cahé, episode 7.
Wow.
Is it? Episode 7.
Much more clothes this week
And you've
compared
got
to last week.
You got your lid off as well.
Yeah, of course. Always lid off,
fair
pinky up.
No, I've got to protect in case a bit of
True.
spillage.
After your last couple of experiences have been poor. Today we're at Chook A Licious. Table's sturdy.
It's a bit warmer today. It's actually nippy, but warmer.
because we're closed and not in a nice bath.
Yeah, that's right.
That's fair.
Bit nippy though. Hey?
It's delightful, eh?
What are we talking about today, Coach?
Oh, mate, that you want to know. Today we're going to discuss something that happened 3 times between 2 of us.
Decent, huh?
Yeah, ACL ruptures. So it's a bit of a sore spot, that one.
Literally.
Yeah, literally. More emotionally, I think, than physically.
Yeah, definitely.
Obviously, being a minimum of how long out could you know?
Generally say at least 9 months, but in our clinic we like to push a bit longer than that. Obviously, the longer the graft stays in, time and ligamentization is the word.
Big word, yeah, nice.
Strengthens the graft, and obviously just the whole return to play process as well.
So let's go through types of graft to start with. What do you reckon?
Yeah, done. I can go through, I guess, my graft.
What'd you do?
So I had a hammy graft. To be fair, touch wood. I did my ACL when I was 21, a few years ago now, as some people say, a bit older. Unfortunately.
No pooch.
Not any. Yeah, so I went with a hammy back then. I was probably the one with a lot of research. And pretty much what I was recommended or guided, so I didn't really know about any of the other ones. Touch wood, been pretty good since. I do feel sometimes it is a bit challenging, like if I'm not doing my rehab or keeping on top of everything, my hammy does definitely feel weaker than the other side. So I don't know if that's like a neurological aspect of things, because obviously with the ACL not being there and knowing its neurological input and proprioceptive properties, I don't know.
Some big words in a row, eh? Proprioceptive proprietties. Well, tell them how they get the hamstring graft, Coach. How do you get a hamstring out for an ACL graft?
So they come in through the pes answering, or through that area there, which is this part of the front of the knee, which is where one of your hamstring muscles attaches, and they actually harvest the graft from there. Sometimes they actually use 2 different types of tendons, so semitendinosus and gracilis. So they're 2 types of muscles, or one's a hammy, one's, if you want to call it, a groin.
That's where you get that token scar from, on the inside of
At
the
the
shin.
front.
Yep. Anyone who's on an ACL, you know straight away, because that little vertical line is there.
And I imagine they use that tissue because it's, you know, part of your own, less likely to be rejected by the body, and has similar properties to an ACL once they do like a double strand or so forth. Yeah. And yourself?
That brings us to my one. I've had an allograft, and I've done it twice. The first time, I pretty much had heard that much feedback from people who had done a hamstring graft, that they always felt that hole in their hamstring from where the graft was harvested.
Yeah,
and
can feel a bit weaker.
And at 30, I didn't want to experience that. I thought, you know what, I'm going to allograft it. I was pretty impressed by my specialist and the education he gave me in regards to the fact that they take a test on your blood types. That way they get the same blood type. The way they fry it and they maintain it, it's more likely to hold. And it comes from like 18 to 30-year-old males.
Not like a 65-year-old or 70.
Nah, mate. I want
you got the top of the range.
Yeah,
you got the Maccabi Diva of ACL grafts.
Fun fact, apparently they take mostly muscle and tendons from the shin area. So tib post, Achilles, that sort of area. Reason being is when a body is being harvested, they want to get out of the way of all the people taking the important stuff, the organs, the livers, the hearts, all that sort of thing. So that's why you end up with shin muscles used for graft. I was wondering, why wouldn't you just take someone else's hamstring instead of my own hamstring?
Yeah.
How
have you felt, obviously, with the process?
The first time, and I looked into the research after, the problem with doing allografts, one of the main problems, is it feels too good too soon. Because you don't have any other comorbidities, it's literally just screwing someone else's tendon into your knee. I was able to mow my lawns day 4 and dig up holes and wheelbarrow dirt at my house day 6. I was squatting 90 kilos for 412s and supersetting with RDLs.
Thoughts about that
within
now,
a
looking
few
back?
weeks. Yeah, well, I got in trouble for that when I spoke to the specialist because he said my knee wasn't dry yet. But I was confused as to how I had no pain and had all my strength and lost no muscle girth. But I guess in hindsight, would I have done it again? Definitely not. And I definitely didn't do it again the second time. Because I was always battling a swollen knee, and really with ACLs, we want it dry as soon as we can, range of motion, equal strength, symmetry, all that sort of thing. So yeah, on my second ACL, I did it with a lateral tenodesis, which is pretty much where they take apart your ITB and feed it under your LCL. It helps excellently rotate your shin, which means it's less likely to torsion and take away your ACL.
Limits those sort of valgus forces.
Yeah, and so far that's been pretty good, but from my understanding, it takes a little bit longer to ligamentize, which means the properties of that tendon has to shift in terms of what the percentages are to go from a tendon to a ligament. So yeah, it's a bit more of a delayed rehab, but coming back this week.
Let's go.
We're on, don't worry about that's me.
And could you, like, obviously you've gone through a couple now, unfortunately, but like, what would you say were some positive parts of the experience, maybe some of the negative parts?
I think the worst part is the head loss. And I think definitely it's important.
He's got head loss.
You definitely should speak to someone. I put on a brave face the whole time, and psychologically, who knows where I was at. And I know a lot of people go through that. So you need to have a good mindset, and I really think having short-term goals and knocking them off as you go is super important. Like first, obviously looking at range of motion first, and then proprioception, and what your checklist of criteria is to get to return to return to running, and then you do a running program, and then
Having like a guided criteria.
yeah, then you go into change of direction, then your ball work, and just making sure you're ticking off each little checklist, the little milestones, and that way, if you always have a little short-term goal in front of you that you're trying to aspire to, you don't look at the whole long-term picture as much.
Obviously then, adding to the tissue healing over the time span of that injury.
Yeah,
But also, I think psychologically, how important is that then, having those little steps and milestones?
for sure. And then on the flip side of that as well, the other thing to discuss is like the prevalence in females, menstrual cycle, massive impact on ACL risk, and I guess moving forward, there's got to be ways, I think, that in women's football they monitor these sort of things. I think that's a massive loophole. But obviously it's very hard to drop a girl because she's menstruating, right?
Yeah, definitely.
But maybe minute management, who knows where the future's going to take it.
That becomes obviously very, very tricky when it comes to that. Because then it comes down to consent and talking about that, being open about it. Positive experiences? Well, not really. Not many.
I got to observe a lot of football.
Became a good spectator.
Yeah, no, I've run a lot of rehabs in my time, and I always thought I would smash an ACL rehab. I almost dared fate to do it to me, and now in hindsight, I wish I never did, because I don't know. I don't think there are many positives, to be honest.
For me, the
accomplishment is probably the only thing.
There's that side of it. And the other side of it is obviously going through it, you're able to maybe understand and empathize
Yeah.
with clients and so forth. So knowing what it's like, knowing what it was, knowing how it is at different moments, very lonely, especially at different points in people's careers. Like I was very early, like very young, very tricky at those points in time, Obviously for yourself, man, different moments. I think it's so challenging for everyone, but it's like, all right, in terms of across the lifespan, it's pretty tricky.
Yeah, man. And there's always a different challenge, right? If you do it at 21 like you did, it affects your ability to try and crack on into football.
Yep.
At 30, I had a young family. I had 2 daughters by then, I think it was, or 1 daughter, the second one came just after. And I can't play with my kids.
Yeah.
Can't pick her up, can't go in the backyard, wants to run around, I can't run. It's pretty debilitating.
Yeah. By going through that experience, you can then, have that understanding, have that discussion, and
I've had a few patients come in and they book in with me purely because I've done an ACL before. I don't know if I like that. So I know you've been through it. So I know you know what it takes.
Yeah, you got that notch in your belt.
Right. And I'm like, mate, I wish I didn't. I would rather not have that and not see you, but I like you.
Yeah, that'd probably be the main, if there was any positives to take out of it, very, very average injury, but both physically and psychologically, but that's probably something to take out of it, really.
Yeah, so
anything to sort of go through? Any
pretty much
other
it, mate.
graft types, quads, similar to a hammy in a
quad
way,
as
but again,
well.
it's your own tissue, obviously it impacts it in certain ways.
Yeah, I guess another thing is like obviously a hammy, based on its insertion and where it actually comes into your shin, it is actually restricting your tibia from
that translation
going forward, right? Which is how you do an ACL. So taking out a part of your hammy to then give
And
it
it's
an
also
ACL is
dynamic
almost,
stabilizer.
Yeah, it's almost a counterproductive kind of procedure, but until science gives us something else, so there's the cross bracing method, which is starting to look pretty
That looks
promising, where some
really
ACLs are coming back, they're going back on its own.
Yeah, if there's a way that over time we can regenerate the ligament at all ACL ruptures, I think that's going to be number one, because you don't then lose the neurological properties. So it's information that feeds back to the body.
Well, that's how my ACL feels now. So it feels like it's blind.
Something's missing.
Yeah.
I feel
just
the same.
missing
Information.
Yeah, that's right. It's a little bit like I'm just guessing where it's going to go.
Yeah. And I don't know if that ever will get right, unfortunately, until we discover a way to regenerate them.
Maybe when we're non-knee, mate.
Are we non now? 33? 33 years
Hey,
old.
metabolically 25.
Hey, let's go. Where are we today, Coach?
Oh, I didn't even mention that. We're at Chook A Licious.
No, it's very
It's
important.
my absolute favourite place in the universe.
Chook A Licious.
They've got the best potato scallop in
the
world.
Universe.
Yeah, I've never.
Didn't you actually win the
I came
competition?
third.
Who beat
They
you?
had a scallop eating competition. Jay Webby. Mate, he was a monster. To be fair, he killed it.
the goat of scallop eating?
Yeah, and they had like random 3 Aussie blokes who didn't look like they could eat very much.
And they could eat.
They could eat, and then our little squad came third. But 3 out of
How many
7
kilos
or
of
8.
scallops?
We got through, I think it was 2.7 kilos
Of scallops in
of scallops
how
in
long?
10 minutes. So 900
Yeah.
grams of scallops. That was a lot of scallops.
That's dirty. That's dirty, Chich.
Anyways, I think that should conclude our little
This is
episode
probably
today.
our longest one yet.
Yeah, just
Our longest one
shit.
about ACLs.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
what's this, you know why? Because it takes a bit of time, doesn't it?
Just beyond. No, we didn't even touch the surface.
Mate, 12-minute video, 12-month injury.
Wow.
Ill.
Wow.
Anyways, that concludes
Well, the next
episode
one
of-
to episode 8.
Yeah, there
next
you go.
week.
Vibes and Cahé. Cheers, Kohino.
Cheers.